At universities all around the country, professors are reporting a problem. Students can't read books. This is true even at elite colleges and universities. In one required class at Columbia, students are often expected to read about a book a week. But in the past couple of years, students have started telling their professors that they can't do it. One student told her professor that she had never been required to read an entire book. This is part of a larger trend. People aren't reading anymore, and it's the phones.
So something that gets overlooked in a lot of these discussions is that many people actually do spend their days reading. It's just that they're not reading books. If you're scrolling on YouTube or Twitter, then you are actually encountering an endless stream of text. More text than many people throughout history would have encountered in a week or a month. TikTok is maybe the most addictive of these platforms, and practically every video has burned-in captions. So people are constantly reading something when they are online. And if you're driving, you're seeing road signs, you're seeing billboards, you're seeing advertisements. The world wants you to read. It just doesn't really want to give you the time that it takes to read a good book. So this is my backyard, and occasionally I'll come and I'll bring a book and I'll try to get some reading done. It's peaceful and it's quiet, and it's one of the places that I really love. So maybe I start reading the book and I'll feel really good. And then within just a few seconds, this thing wants my attention. So if I want to get any reading done, I have to be disciplined, and I have to decide that my phone needs to stay inside, someplace where it can't distract me. Now imagine that you're a college student and you've never read a full book in a week, or really ever been asked to read a hard or long book for your education. And your professor says, hey, I want you to read Homer's Iliad in a week. Let's say you're a good sport too, and so you go to your dorm room, you get your book, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But now think about all the things that are there ready to distract you. Other people, or your phone, or your laptop. Anything with a screen really is there, and it's ready to just make you feel more stimulated. Because let's face it, even if we're people who really like to read, compared to doing other things, the act of reading is really boring. It is the antithesis of our sort of constant need to be overstimulated. A lot of schools, high schools, middle schools, things like that, have decided to start banning smartphones from the classroom. And my reaction, of course, is like, what took you so long? Of course, students aren't going to be able to read or learn properly if they're constantly distracted by their phones. So not only have we systematically failed students as we've taught them to read, or not taught them to read in some cases, we've also just designed a world that is there to constantly demand our attention. And that takes us away from those deep or reflective, sort of focus-heavy practices like reading good books. So when adults try to say why they don't read anymore, they usually cite three things. They don't have time, they can't pay attention long enough, or they blame social media. And I suspect that all of these are related. The fact that we don't have time or that we can't focus is in part because of things like social media, other forms of easy entertainment are there to take up all of our time. I often like to read before bed, and occasionally I'll tell myself that I need to check my phone before I start reading. And I'll find that I end up scrolling for an hour without even realizing it. Time seems to flow differently when I'm on my phone compared to when I'm trying to do something more demanding, like reading. It's easier, it's more instantly pleasurable, even though at the end of the day, I feel terrible about it. So I expect that a lot of the things that I found are true for me could be true for you or for many other people, and are part of this broader explanation of why nobody reads anymore. So the result of all of this is that fewer and fewer people read books. You have your super readers who read tons of books, and they keep the average numbers up. But you have more and more people who decide that reading just isn't for them. I don't know exactly what we're supposed to do about that, but that's where we are.
Can't be solved by human logic, or by a clueless college student's putrid knowledge. That's foolish nonsense.